Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are out there. Just want to say hello. It was my intent when I made interim chief to get around to all of you, but I quickly realized our department is so big that it's hard to get around to everyone. So I wanted to put a video out just to give you some updates for the month of July. And I can tell you it's been a very busy month. Fire season kind of started off late, but towards the end of July we had a big fire up north. As I'm doing this video, we have about 20 personnel on the fire. I suspect that fire season will go along into September and October. For the month of July, we had a total of 3,835 calls. 2,514 of those calls were EMS calls, 12 of those calls were structure fires, and 41 of those calls were vegetation fires. And again, we had a wide range of other types of calls during the month of July. Before I go on with my updates for July, I just want to pause for a minute and ask that you keep Sergeant Matt Lewis from RPD in your thoughts and prayers. Sergeant Lewis is a long-term employee with the City of Riverside, and unfortunately he was involved in a fatal traffic accident late one evening. So we just want to keep his family in our thoughts and prayers, as well as members of RPD. His funeral will be coming up here pretty soon in the month of August. So a couple of incidents that I would like to talk about during the month of July are just our increase in vegetation fires. We so far this year we've gone out to two pretty significant calls out in the city of Jurupa, where CAL FIRE called us and we assisted with mutual aid. We had one major fire which was in the Santa Ana River bottom area. The fire started actually just outside of the city limits. The fire resulted in being 46 acres. It was a collaborative effort. We were in unified command with CAL FIRE. All personnel were involved and engaged on this incident, all shifts. Just want to thank you for your efforts. We utilized personnel off duty to assist with mop up and overhaul, which I realize is not fun, but it's a necessity. The cause of the fire was human involvement. During the month of July, we also spent significant efforts preparing for the 4th of July. In my opinion, the 4th of July was a success. We had, again, all personnel within our department assisting with education and enforcement of the 4th of July. We had our operations folks out there, as always, ensuring that the community is safe and collecting fireworks. We had our prevention staff out there overseeing the fireworks on the 4th of July with the pyrotechnic company. We had our arson division out there leading the way and collaborating with the police department and public works to engage with the publics, issue citations, and confiscate fireworks. As a result of our efforts, we confiscated about 209 pounds worth of fireworks. We issued 37 citations, and we took 209 calls for service for the radio. Another initiative that we push forward is our anti-camping ordinance. The City of Riverside has had an anti-camping ordinance for a while now. However, we revised the anti-camping ordinance to include our wildland-urban interface. We went to the Youth Safety and Wellness Committee as well as City Council to introduce and propose no camping in the wildland-urban interface, which we designate as a dangerous area. These areas include Whole Lake, Sycamore Canyon, La Sierra Hills, and of course the Santa Ana River bottom. After a lot of discussion, City Council approved our request, and now those designated areas are no longer permissible to be camped at in the City of Riverside. As a result of that decision and as a result of funding being approved, we have moved forward with hiring 2 additional administrative captains to serve as our wildland PSET company officers. And those 2 personnel are Captain Greg White and Captain Jonathan Turley. So congratulations to you for interviewing and being appointed as our new administrative captains. Within our department, because of this movement, we also anticipate additional promotions. So more to come on those efforts. So what can you expect with me as the interim chief? Well, I can tell you that you can expect pretty much the same thing, some of the same initiatives. Accreditation is very important to me. I'm a strong believer in accreditation and performance measurement. You can also expect that we're going to move forward with a new strategic plan with a greater vision. Our team is working hard on the strategic plan. It is in draft format, and it will be available from the years of 2023 to 2028. Our pre-fire plan program is something that I'm very excited about. We are becoming a very contemporary fire department. For those of you who've been around for a long time, you'll know that we used to work off of binders and paper, and that is quickly going away. So I just like to thank the team for coming up with an Esri computer-based pre-fire plan model. There's not a lot of fire departments that are utilizing this model, so I'm very excited about the future and just going electronic. And I appreciate you guys out there for compiling the data and putting this information in this format. I will tell you that once we complete our pre-fire plans, you'll start seeing this format show up in a lot of different locations, such as your MDCs, such as our next standards of cover document, as well as other documents. You guys are building the foundation in which our department is going to live upon for several years to come. So what you're doing is very important. It's very important and very vital. We recently had a press conference and introduced PostPoint. PostPoint gives the community the opportunity to assist us in our rescue efforts. When someone calls 911, the dispatch is giving them pre-arrival instructions for a person who unfortunately passed away, and CPR is being initiated. It is our goal in our community to have the public assist and start CPR efforts before we get there. The program is live now. If you haven't downloaded the application, certainly encourage you to do so. Certainly encourage you to have your family and friends also download that app. We will be compiling the data in the future and letting you know the results of this life-changing application. So thank you. STEM Leaps program is something that is near and dear to my heart as well. It's a program that we participate in with collaboration from Bournes, RPD, and RFD. This STEM Leaps program gives young children the opportunity to come together and explore careers in police and the fire department. And they look at our careers from a different lens. Through science, technology, engineering, and math, they kind of develop ways in which our department can become a better department and give us recommendations as young adults on what we can do to improve our organization. Had the opportunity to sit in on some of the classes and be a judge for some of these children wishing to come up with new ideas to make our department better. It is a good program just to give children an outlet during the summertime to see what we do in our profession. A lot of us were involved in those programs. I want to thank the hazmat team. I want to thank fire prevention for coming out and discussing what they do. We had our folks in operations come out, as well as our arson team and many, many more. I'd like to thank Gina Perez for being behind the scenes and organizing this event. It was a very good event. Within the stations, some of the things that we would like to do is really focus on capital improvements. We take our station inspections very seriously. When we go around, we're looking for opportunities to improve the stations. During the month of July, we were fortunate to be able to put a new roof onto Station 2. During the month of July, the city sent out several exchange emails, and there were 2 emails that was sent out to request one for an employment engagement survey, and the other email was for diversity, equity, and inclusion survey. For members of our department who participated in those surveys, we are reviewing the results. We are going to get the results out to you, and based on your recommendations, we're committed to making changes and improving how we operate within our organization. It's important for me to say your voice does not go unheard. For operations personnel, I just want to briefly touch on our fleet. After a long delay, Truck 1 is back in service. Truck 841, which had some radio issues, I'm pleased to also announce that those radio issues are now resolved. A new radio system and headset was installed on Truck 841. We are aware that we've had some ongoing MDC issues. Chief McKinster is working very hard with Panasonic and with our dispatch center and with our IT department to fix those MDC issues that are occurring. I'd also like to let you know that we recently went to City Council and requested replacement of Squad 5 and replacement of our hazmat decon unit. Those items were both approved, and we are working towards purchasing those pieces of apparatus. As we are now into the new fiscal year, we're also looking at continuing our vehicle replacement program and purchasing additional apparatus. Our training division has been hard at work as always. During the month of July, we've had several probationary firefighters who are taking their 6-month test. Our EMS division has a mandatory class on EMS updates. There's blue card testing that's happening right now, and just a segment on blue card testing. I want you to know out there that blue card is near and dear to my heart. I listen to the radio very frequently. I'm very pleased that you guys are embracing this blue card system. We're going to be a better fire department for taking on blue card. So thank you for taking blue card serious and staying involved with that. And again, for those of you out there who need to do your IEOM testing, that's occurring as we speak. New hires. During the month of July, we hired 5 additional personnel in operations. I'm actually very pleased with that. We're doing a lot better than with hiring than compared to last year. As it stands right now, we have a total of 3 vacancies. We have 2 firefighter paramedics in backgrounds, and we also are working on an eligibility list, a new eligibility list for firefighters. At the end of August, we will be interviewing new firefighter and firefighter paramedics. I'd like to say congratulations to Scott Richmond. He has chosen to go back to operations after 2 years in the training division. Thank you for all of your assistance out there and pushing our department forward. I'd also like to say congratulations to Paul Seawright. Captain Seawright has been elected to take over Captain Richmond's position in the training division. Paul, I'm sure you're going to do great things in the training division. Some exciting news. I'd like to welcome some new members of RFD. I want to say congratulations to Kristen Johnson on the birth of her baby boy. I'd also like to say congratulations to Captain Giovanetti for the birth of his. All families are doing well. Congratulations to you. Regarding the vegetation fire in the Santa Ana River bottom, we were able to request Cal OES to send an intel flight over the fire, and we're going to display that for you now. This intel flight gives us the opportunity to get a bird's eye view of exactly what's going on with the fire, gives an idea of what future days are going to look like in terms of mop-up, and it gives the executive staff an understanding of resources needed for the upcoming days. This intel flight was critical for me in my decision making to hire additional personnel to stay at the fire and to request additional resources like hand crews, dozers, and that sort of thing. So this is the update for the month of July. It is my intent to give you more updates. I hope to see you in person, but at minimum, you'll see me on camera. So stay safe for now, and I'll be in touch soon. Take care.